Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. How are you? It's time for your field trip. I want to make sure we have a few people chiming in before we go much further. There they are. Welcome, welcome everybody. I started the video that way because everybody's talking about Tiger King right now. So when we posted that we're going to be with our tigers and talking about tigers, I thought it'd be a great opportunity throughout this morning to also differentiate between a real zoo and private menageries that people have in their backyards. And it's also a great chance for us to differentiate between real zookeepers and those people that are working in those places. So what we stand for and the care that we give our big cats is nothing like what you're seeing on Joe Exotic and all of those, I don't even want to say sanctuaries. So we'll get into that for a little bit, but those of you that were hoping I'd start the video that way, there you go. So we're talking big cats here in Asian Highlands, and so as usual, let's turn this around for your Facebook field trip and introduce you to our cast of characters. Kelsey here, Hannah from marketing. Kelly, she's in charge of our volunteers, so if volunteering, we have a lot of volunteers who check our Facebook page and they're itching to get back. We love our volunteers. Hang tight, we want you back up here soon. Michelle, it's your anniversary, it's your work anniversary.
4 years, yep.
4 years Michelle has been here, so everyone give her some thumbs up. So we're going to do a little bit of big cat enrichment, meat, that kind of thing. Let's get right into it.
We're going to do some food enrichment.
Okay. You guys, this is perfect zoo weather. A lot of you are noticing that. I'm so sad that we can't have all of our field trips going on and that we can't have all that happening up here because now we're trying to keep our distance.
Yep.
So I'm inside Grandma's house. Now, Michelle what are we about to see?
So we are going to see Chimegwe, or who we call Chim. He's going to come out. If you look straight ahead on that post, you'll see there's some meat hanging, a big, big chunk.
Oh, that is
So we're going to see some fun with him trying to get that down.
Okay, you guys. So Chim the snow leopard.
And we're going to call him out right now.
Okay.
So a fun fact, Chimegwe in Mongolian actually means quiet. So it's what parents would tell their kids. Chimegwe is in quiet.
Okay,
because he was very talkative. He was very talkative when he was younger, so that's how he got his name.
Chimegwe.
So he's being shifted out right now.
I call him Chimichanga. Is that all right? Okay, you guys, so this is your Facebook field trip. Here comes Chim, snow leopard. He's going to use...
This is the first time he's had it in this exhibit, so he's got to find it first.
Oh, so he has to use... Now, they must have powerful sense of smell.
Oh, yeah. You can see him sniffing around. He smells it. We hide his bones and other things in here. There it goes. He sees it.
Does he see it? This challenges my camera skills. Oh, sometimes they move so fast. Okay, so he can sniff it. Did he not see it? I thought he looked right at it. He's got... It's kind of like Christmas morning when you run to the stocking first just to see if there's something extra in there.
Yeah, he definitely smells it. Now he's just trying to locate it. We hide bones and other treat meat pieces around all the time for him, so he's used to looking around. But you can tell that he smells something.
If you're just tuning in, this is today's Facebook field trip. We're going to be doing some meat enrichment with our big cat. So this is Chimegwe. We call him Chim for short.
There it is.
He's a snow leopard, and he is trying to find that hunk of meat. There he goes. There he goes, guys. We have a lot of people chiming in saying snow leopards are their favorite. Hi, Gwen. Gwen just chimed in. Gwen's one of our awesome keepers up here. We met her doing meerkats a week or so ago. Okay, guys, I'm going to try to zoom in. I'm holding my hand. I'm trying to hold so still. Hold on. Give me a minute. There we go. That's better. Now, are they climbers in the wild? Is this how they'd eat?
They are actually found in the upper altitudes of the Himalayan region. So they are found in the high altitude rock cliffs. They do climb. That big long tail helps for balance. So they do have really good balance, and you'll find them up in the hills and the rock cliffs up there.
One of the other things I love about their big long tail is they'll wrap it up around their face to keep their little noses warm.
So they already have a good coat on them, but in the winter it can grow up to 4 inches longer. Everywhere but their face.
4 inches.
So yeah, up to 4 inches, yeah. So when they get cold, they'll lay and they'll wrap that tail around with all that fur to cover their face.
Now, I know they're very elusive cats. Do they run? Do they jump? Because I know leopards are really agile.
Yes, they are very agile. They can sprint, averages about 30 mile per hour bursts.
Ooh.
And so it's a lot of jumping because they're jumping from, you know, little ledge to ledge. So they're very agile.
Now, did you just rip
Slim's,
off a hunk?
Yeah. Chim is a slim 84 pounds right now. That's about average for a male.
For everybody wondering, yes, we would love baby snow leopards. He does have a girlfriend here. They do seem to like each other, right? They're still getting along. You guys will be the first to know if we have exciting news to share. So Chim is how old?
Chim is going to be 8 on the 16th this month.
8.
Well, next month.
Birthday. Chim was one of my, when I first started here a while ago, he was one of my first news stories because we did a procedure on his eyelid.
Yes.
So it was kind of, I've always have an affection for him because we kind of got up close. I didn't get to get too close, but.
Yes, Chim was born here to his mom, Nima.
Now he's sniffing around. Did he lose interest in the meat?
Yeah, it takes a little work. So this is a big hunk of meat for him. His average diet, he gets a multitude of things, but on a regular day, he gets about 2 pounds of meat. And that there, we're extra generous. That's about 4 pounds in a big hunk.
Someone said Chim weighs less than their dog. That's a big dog.
He was less than my dog, yep.
You guys got some big dogs. So their tails are at least as long as they are, if not longer, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. You guys are asking some great questions. Please keep them coming. We have big cat experts right in here for our Facebook field trip. I love that so many of you have been following along with these every day. And if you've missed one, all of the Facebook field trips stay on our Facebook page. You can also catch them on our YouTube channel, which is just hoglezoo.org. So if you miss one, we've done some really great getting up close to some of these awesome animals. Sniffing around. It's a lot of work to eat that hunk of meat. Mm-hmm. He's kind of looking around. What other kinds of enrichment activities do you do with Chim?
So we have multiple types of enrichment here. So this would be called a food enrichment. We also do sensory, which are one of the cat's favorites. They love senses. So if we put herbs or spices or maybe coffee is a favorite, magazine pages type things, it would be a sensory. There's also manipulative, so we can put a ball out there or different things that he can knock around. And then we have environmental. So if we were to put different substrates or if he were to go to a different exhibit, that would be called environmental enrichment. And the last would be behavioral. So one of the things we do when warmer weather comes is we might call up our ambassador area and say, hey, do you want to bring an ambassador animal up? And they'll walk down the pathway and we'll see how the animals react to having another animal nearby. That would be a behavioral enrichment.
And we've seen some zoos around the country that have been doing
exactly.
that. While
That's what they've been doing,
quarantine.
yes. So that would be called a behavioral.
And a lot of the cats do seem to like coffee. You guys have mentioned that for a lot of the various.
It's one of the favorites.
Now, tell us about how endangered they are. Someone asked how endangered they are, and I know we do work with Snow Leopard Trust.
Snow Leopard Trust. They are one of the most endangered large cats in the world. Their numbers, I'm trying to remember what their numbers were.
I know it's difficult for them to track because they are so elusive.
Yes, it seems like, you know, that coat might stick out, and it does here, but when they're in those rocky cliffs, you guys can pull up pictures, you cannot see them, and they're right in front of you. So they blend in really well.
We did that with one of the last events that we had here, Cats and Cocoa.
Yes.
We had people try to search for the snow leopard, and it was tricky to find. Now, would Chim and his lady be on exhibit together?
Right now, they're not going to be on exhibit together because they're going to be in the howdy process for their mating season. So right now, we're going to keep them apart.
Because they are solitary.
They are solitary, yes.
They do not hang out together. What do they eat?
Chim yet to do a blood draw, but all of this is completely voluntary through training with him. So if we do get to that point, you might see a teeny tiny little shave patch on his tail. And then
because then you can draw blood,
which
exactly helps us offer better health care.
Exactly.
Okay, it looks like you guys, is the video back? I'm getting a lot of people say the video is frozen, but I'm still getting questions. Frozen. Okay.
Oh,
that's
no,
horrible.
our internet might be down.
Okay, let me see if I can switch. Oh shoot, you guys. Can you guys see it? Why did you pause it? I didn't pause it. Give me some thumbs up. The video is back. Okay, good.
Video's back.
Okay.
All right. We're good.
You guys, I'll be honest. The Zoo's internet sometimes gives us some fits.
We're good.
Yeah, thank you. Kelsey, other Kelsey's like, it's back. We're good. All right, so here's Chim and his big hunk of meat. Now tell us a little bit. how you guys work this into their regular diet. He doesn't get this every day.
No, this is a very special treat for him to get such a large chunk of meat at one time. Normally his diet is a little bit smaller. This isn't too much out of the range for him for amount of food in one time, but like all big cats, Chim does fast. Naturally, snow leopards aren't going to eat every day in the wild. They're going to catch a larger item and they're going to eat it and gorge, and then they're not going to eat again until they catch something else. So these guys could go up to a week or a couple weeks or more without catching prey. So here we...
So they can go for a couple weeks
Yeah.
without eating?
Yeah.
Did you guys hear that? Tell me at quarantine if you could go a couple weeks without eating. I'm heading to the fridge about every 2 minutes. Like, is there
personally,
anything
snacks
new
have
in
been
here yet?
sustaining me.
That's pretty amazing. 2 weeks is a long time.
Yeah, so in the wild they're going to obviously fast, so here we do simulate that. So we will give them bone days, a couple days a week where he won't get very much food at all. We'll use a little bit for training, and then otherwise he'll get a large cow bone or elk or deer bone that we've had donated to the zoo. And those are some of his favorite days. He loves bone days. But he is definitely hungry the next day. So this is a nice treat for him today.
Oh yeah, he's liking it. Now you said one of our other big cats, Nikolai, also might be ready for
Yes.
some kind of meaty treat.
Nikolai is definitely ready. I heard him in holding earlier saying, "Hey, I'm ready."
Are you guys, so we're looking at Chim, remind me of his age.
Chim is going to be 8 in April.
That's right, that makes perfect sense. He's
Yep.
going to be 8 in April. His natural habitat's in the upper Himalayas, so he likes it nice and cold. Did Carol Baskin feed her husband to this cat? No, she most certainly did not, because the meat quality probably would not have been good enough for our cats. It's actually a really great point for those of you who maybe wonder what that question's about. A lot of the country right now is watching Tiger King on Netflix, mostly because we're all going nuts and have nothing else to do. But it's a really great differentiation between real zoos that are accredited through the AZA, the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. And a lot of these roadside attraction zoos are really a massive detriment to the survival of these gorgeous species. So if you have watched that, and if you have any follow-up questions and want to know how we differ in our animal care and what we do and how qualified our real zookeepers are, you can always contact the zoo and we will answer all of your questions there. So should we let Chimmy munch on his meat and check out Nikolai? Are you guys ready for tigers? Give me
think
some
we're
thumbs
ready.
up. Do you guys want?
Nikolai's ready.
All right, let's roam. We're going to roam on over. We still have our crew standing up. Oh, hey, while you get ready for Nikolai, let's show you guys. First of all, let me introduce Jameson. He's the artist of the gorgeous artwork that we talked about. So we sold some of these yesterday because he's been sketching like Matt. Do you call it sketching? Are you? Drawing. He's like drawing. I mean, don't get fancy. So this is a gorgeous drawing that he did of beautiful Sela. Now, we call him Jay here affectionately, but he's been at the zoo for 28 years. So not only is this a gorgeous drawing of a tiger, but it is of Sela. So if you're a fan of the zoo and you want to help support the zoo right now, go to our website, hoglezoo.org. You've done just about almost every species at this point. I didn't even show your face. So, but if you want Sela, you can get the original. You can also get prints, and all of that information is at hoglezoo.org. And it's a great way for you to help the zoo right now while we're closed. It's very expensive to run a zoo, and we don't have all of you guys thundering up here in this beautiful spring weather. So we would love to see some donations roll in so that we can keep these videos going and keep our animals well cared for. Okay, you guys, look at that hunk of meat. This is going to be tricky for me because I'm shooting right into the sunshine. I love that you guys are loving the Facebook field trips. Now, Christy, yeah. Do you think he's going to run out or saunter?
He's coming from that way.
Oh, he's coming out from the low door. Well, gads, I'm glad I asked. That would have been awkward. Okay, you guys.
He usually saunters.
We're ready when you are. So we're going to be looking at our big boy Nikolai. How old and how much does Nikolai weigh now?
Nikolai will be 10 in June, and he's about 400 pounds.
Okay, so now it's Kelsey talking to us.
Oh, he's
Maddie and Sam want to know if the stripes on tigers are the same or different.
They are like fingerprints, so no two tigers have the same stripes. So really, if you really wanted to, you could tell each tiger apart by their individual stripes.
And you guys are amazing at that. So one of our most common questions is, how do they tell them apart?
Ooh, he sees it.
Oh, yeah. There you go, Nick. Oh, yeah.
Good boy.
Oh, wow. That he didn't even
That was
know he's going to
fast.
go hide. Is that it, Nick? Come on. Come on.
He's so proud of himself.
Oh, you got the kill, boy. Now he's going to run away from me. Nikolai came to us from Denver Zoo. We did a great video on how we transport big cats from zoo to zoo. If you missed that, that's also at our YouTube page, Utah's Hogle Zoo. He did that so fast.
He did.
We wanted a little bit more of a production right there.
To be fair, at Denver they did this kind of stuff a lot. They had really good setups for it. So he's a little bit more experienced than Chim.
So he knows. Well, he's probably got a more powerful jaw,
Yes,
I'd imagine.
Definitely more powerful. I mean, 400 pounds versus 85 too. So.
Okay, so we have two tigers. We have Nikolai and then beautiful Sela. Now Sela's a senior cat. We can go take a look at her in a minute. So we're getting a lot of questions about tigers and water. Do they like water?
Yes, they do like water. Nikolai loves the water. A lot of times he will just sit in the stream. We haven't seen him quite like swim in this deeper area yet, but we're hoping maybe this summer. We've actually had him in the stream already this year.
Now Donald wants to know, how big are his teeth?
Quite large. They're about an inch.
They're real big tiger teeth, Donald, real big. Now, what types of animals would they be eating in the wild?
Most of their diet is actually like wild boar, but they also get deer and just kind of other random things that they find in that similar size.
We're getting so many kid questions about swimming. I really feel like the kids are ready to go swimming. I think that's why they're entranced. I will say tiger's really the only cat I see at the zoo in the water ever. Mm-hmm. Would that be fair? I only ever see the lions drink out of it. I never see them
When
in
the
it.
lion cubs were younger, they definitely would go in the pool, but I haven't seen that for a couple years.
Now, the tiger, we got, let's see, Nikolai came in fall of 2018.
Yes.
And again, we did a great video on just how that process works, so you can find that on YouTube. He came to us from Denver Zoo. That's a really important thing to keep in mind. We're associated with AZA, the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, and we work with what's called the Species Survival Plan, or SSP. That's kind of like massive computer dating for zoo animals. So they want to make sure the bloodlines stay nice and clean, so they kind of decide which cat, or giraffe, or where it should be sent where for breeding purposes. So we would love to have tiger cubs someday, not with Sela. She's a little bit older and a senior cat. They are quite endangered in the wild, isn't that right, Kelsey?
Yes, they are. Last numbers we saw were about like 450 to 500 Amur tigers. Kind of the same thing as snow leopards, though, because they do have such a large habitat. It is hard to get accurate numbers. I know they're working on just making a better, plan for how they can accurately assess if the numbers are going up or down. But from last I heard, they are going up, so that's a good sign.
That's a good sign. Now, I don't think birds land in this exhibit, right? Because it has a mesh top.
They do. Birds land in here.
Do the tigers ever care?
As big as magpies. Nikolai doesn't seem to care.
Okay.
We have seen bird carcasses in some of our other exhibits, but so far Nikolai
like
has
with
decided,
leopards or
okay, leopards, snows, Amur leopards.
Nikolai
lynx.
Can't be bothered, huh?
Yeah, he doesn't care right now.
Now, does he have a favorite kind of meat?
He really seems to like this larger pieces, something that he can like take with him and really work on it. He likes bigger, if we give him a big chunk or like a whole rabbit, he gets those on Fridays. He likes stuff like that.
And you guys have kind of had him, he's been in fasting mode for the past day or so,
Yep,
he would be in the wild, right?
Monday is our fast day for all of our cats in Asian Highlands and in lions, actually. So Mondays they get about 1 pound, and that's for us to reward them for coming inside when we shift them, and we can do any training we need. And then that just is really good for their bodies, because cats' bodies aren't really made to eat a large amount every single day. They need that time to just have a little relaxing day.
Yes, cats do sleep a lot. They have to conserve energy in case they have to get out and hunt and
Exactly.
you know, attack something, right? Now, a lot of questions about if they're climbers. Are tigers climbers?
A little bit. I wouldn't say they're climbers like, you know, some leopards are, but he climbs like on top of the shelter. But
that counts as climbing.
That's why we don't have a ton of big trees in here in a lot of our, like, with thick trunks in a lot of our exhibits, because we don't necessarily want them to be that close to.
You don't want to encourage that, right? I get that. And then how much did you say Nikolai weighs?
He's about 400 pounds.
Okay. So you guys, you saw us do a Reptiles Big and Small Facebook field trip a couple days ago. Kronk, our big tortoise, weighs a little bit more than Nikolai here, which I always think's kind of a fun perspective.
I did not know that.
Because you don't think about that. Now, have you ever been sprayed, Kelsey, by Nikolai?
I have not. Nikolai, surprisingly, is not much of a sprayer.
He's a gentleman.
He has increased lately, like in the past month. It may be because we're in the breeding season of tigers. He feels more comfortable with us, with his exhibit, with the zoo, all of that. So the more we get to know him, the more he might turn into a sprayer. We're not quite sure.
7-year-old Jameson wants to know if he's afraid of dogs because he's a cat.
He might be.
I like that question. No, Sasha, we did not get our tiger from Joe Exotic, and that's actually a really great thing to address for those of you watching Tiger King on Netflix. We do not buy and sell cats like some of those private owners do. We work through the Association of Zoos and Aquariums and the Species Survival Plan, and it's all based on populations in accredited zoos in North America. So if you are watching Tiger King on Netflix, I hope that you're clearly seeing the difference between those, I don't even really want to say institutions, those parks maybe, compared to your accredited zoo up here and the work that we offer for sure. So I hope you guys are seeing that compare and contrast as you watch that. Thank you, Rena. We do think we do it right. We've actually kind of been watching it with our jaw agape. At least I have been. I don't know if you've been watching it. I have been.
I have not yet.
You might not want to. Kelsey, your life's work is taking care of these creatures, so I would suggest you not watch it. We've had a few of you asking about a liger. So Utah's Hogle Zoo is here thanks in large part to Shasta the liger from many years ago. She brought so many people through the gates that it helped fund us through the winter season. Now, this was a long time ago. Shasta the liger, a lot of us remember from our field trips. Shasta is now down at the Monty L. Bean Museum in Provo at BYU campus. So if you do want to go relive your childhood, you can head down to the Monty Bean Museum, BYU. You guys, I love that you're tuning in. We do the Facebook field trips every day at 11:30. Are they jumpers, tigers?
Yes. Not like super jumpers, but they can jump. If
they don't jump like leopards, right?
If that piece of meat was higher, he definitely could have jumped to get a little bit more height.
He is so happy right now. Okay, you guys, the question is, what sound does a tiger make? Which one of you keepers?
Christy's gonna do
Christy,
it.
did you guys already volunteer her?
Yes, we did.
Have you been practicing, Christy?
Yes.
All right, let's hear it.
So they make a couple or several noises. One is a chuff, which is like a greeting. So just a rolling of air. And then they also make their calls, which are long, low sounds. It sounds kind of sad, but the reason they are very deep sounds is because lower sounds travel farther.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's hear it. Let's hear your low sound. That's good. You guys, how about some thumbs up right there for Christy? I'm so impressed. I like that you mentioned the sound because it does sound like it's sad. When Sela was here and Nick was in the hospital, our animal hospital here, because he had to be quarantined when he came from Denver Zoo, but people could hear her calling to him and they thought she was sad, but she wasn't.
No.
She just wanted him to know she was here. Now she doesn't care as much.
Yes. And so their vocalizations, their loud roars actually can be heard about 2 miles away, which lions can be heard up to about 5 miles away. So they
You're
can
getting
be heard
lots
pretty
of
far.
thumbs
They're
up.
pretty loud.
You're getting good thumbs up for your tiger sounds.
It,
Let's go check in back on Chim again over here and see how he's doing with his meat.
Tim's on a break.
You can see we're all kind of spread out. We're trying to do our physical distancing up here. Dee Dee said that's the best impersonation yet.
Thanks, Dee Dee.
Now I don't know how Kieran's going to feel about that because he did a pretty good colobus yesterday. But.
I showed him up.
Do they ever react to your sounds? Do you guys make their sounds to them?
Yeah, I definitely do. It's kind of my way to greet them because it's a friendly sound. It's comforting. It's something that a mother will do to cubs. So I can do it to them. They might not chuff back all the time, but if I chuff to them, it's at least letting them know from my side that, hey, I don't mean you any harm.
So gorgeous. All right, you guys. Another Facebook field trip. Again, all of these videos live on our Facebook page. Chim's favorite season is going to be winter. He's a snow leopard. Actually, let's pause and talk about that for a minute. All of the Asian big cats and the red pandas like it cold.
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
So these guys live in high climates that are very cold, and they do grow a very thick coat for the winter in the wild and here. Obviously, it doesn't necessarily get as cold here as it can in certain parts of the Himalayas where these guys are found. But in the summer, we try to keep them cooler, obviously, so we put up misting systems and things like that.
What the? I'm glad I didn't turn to look at you right then, because I would have missed
snow
that.
leopard attribute of being crazy sometimes.
What
and just
happened?
Jumping and
Did he get a bug on him or something?
He just got excited, I think. So
Oh, I don't
he got excited
blame
over
you,
his
boy.
special treat.
I'm trying to zoom past the mesh, you guys. I'm sorry. Sometimes these phones don't love that. They are fluffy, and the keepers say they're just as soft and fluffy as they look. Now, what about leopard sounds? Are you the resident snow leopard?
So snow leopards also chuff. So
That's
the
the
chuff.
same sound. Now, do
It's
they
that
ever
same
call back
sound.
and forth to each other?
No,
tigers?
they
Okay.
don't really talk to each other very much, but they do listen to each other, so they can hear
Okay.
each other, which is kind of like a form of enrichment. Especially when a new cat moves in, they have a slightly different sound. So like when Malinka moved in, she was pretty new, and Nikolai got excited because there's a new neighbor
There's a
across
new
their way.
new filly in town.
But their noises are a little bit higher pitched, so it's ow, 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 kind of like that.
Aw, almost like a bird. Almost bird-like.
So Chim's full name is Chimegwe, which is actually the Himalayan word for quiet, like the action of being quiet. Because when he was a cub, he was extremely talkative. And so it was almost like saying shh.
Oh, that's funny. All of you mothers at home right now trying to be teachers as well. That's your new thing, Chimegwe. You can just keep saying that. It's a nice way to say hush. Which is softer, leopard or snow leopard?
Snow leopards, I would say.
Snow leopards. Now, when we did lions earlier, I think it was Dr. Nancy said they're actually kind of greasy feeling, the lions. And tigers are too, if I remember right.
Yes.
Is that right?
They actually have that grease on their fur to help with rain, because a lot of tigers live in really wet areas. And so the grease and oils kind of help the rain roll off of their fur so they don't get too soaking wet.
All these amazing adaptations. Now, someone wants to see our other tigers, so let's go see Sela.
Okay.
We'll just wander over. She's not getting, did she already get her meat today?
She did. She already got fed, but she actually prefers to eat at night. And because she is our resident geriatric lady, we do like to make sure she gets plenty of food, so she gets a little special treatment, and we will put the rest of her food in her holding space at night if she doesn't finish earlier in the day.
Hi, pretty girl. So this is Sela. Now, she'll probably sit here and completely ignore me.
Probably.
There's her face.
She's very good at it, but this is one of her favorite spots.
We did a whole event around wanting to train her once, and so we had this whole room full of 150 people, and she looked at us and went, and just sat, like she didn't budge. She did not come in and train.
You know, she's going to be 17 this year, which is quite old for a tiger. And so, if she decides she doesn't want to do it, she doesn't have to do it.
This is beautiful, Sela. Now, you mentioned she's a senior cat. Tell us how old she is.
She's she's going to be 17 this year.
That's old,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, on average, tigers and most big cats live to be about 10 to 15 in the wild. In human care, they can live 15 to 20, and that is very generous. So 17 is quite old for a tiger.
And that really speaks to the amazing health care that they get here. Just our animal care team and our veterinary team are just the best around. And we have a lot of senior animals here at Hogle that just live really great long lives.
Yeah, our lynx are also very old. They're going to be 18 this year. And they're those two boys, and they're doing great.
Someone asked, I didn't catch the name, is it true their tongues are like sandpaper?
Yes, just like little cats, domestic cats that you have at home, they have very, very rough tongues. Oh, she's going to give us a demonstration.
Oh.
The tongue
Let's see that
being
tongue.
so rough is
Good
actually...
girl, right on
Yeah.
cue.
That's actually for grooming. So the barbs on their tongue actually help to keep their fur in nice order and fashion, which also helps with the rain repellent. And it also helps whenever they're trying to clean meat off of bones.
Tell us about these cute little white spots on the backs of their ears.
So I can't remember the technical term, but we refer to them as flashings. Flashings are actually to protect tigers from predators. So it kind of works like how a butterfly has dots on their wings for camouflage to look like eyeballs. So flashings kind of look like tigers have eyes in the back of their head.
So something else will think it's
Right.
actually something looking at them.
Exactly.
Oh.
So if something's sneaking up on them, it kind of looks like they're looking back.
I
and they see them
love
coming.
that. You guys have so many great questions. Yes, you can buy things online, by the way. Hoglezoo.org, we have an online store. So animal artwork, those gorgeous pictures that Jay drew there on our website as well. You can also donate and support your zoo at hoglezoo.org. She is stunning.
She is absolutely beautiful.
We don't touch the animals, so we work really hard not to kind of interact with them because they are wild animals, and we like
Yes.
you guys to have fingers, right?
Exactly. I enjoy having fingers, and
They're kind of fun.
they're kind of helpful.
I want to catch her. My phone won't adjust.
See what's gonna get up for us. Good
Oh,
girl.
look at that cat stretch. It's like a good yoga pose right there. Oh, nice. She just got to lay on the other hip. That's
more
how we do
comfy.
quarantine, guys.
There we go.
Up and flop back over. There it is.
Sela stole the show.
Oh my goodness, you guys. Thank you. So let's ask one more question. Harper
Okay.
wants to know someone wants to know why their tummies are white. Did I get the name wrong? I'm sorry, guys. Is there a reason? Is it better camouflage or just an interesting
That's
coloring?
a really great question. I don't know if there's a reason in tigers. I know in some aquatic species like sharks or penguins, they'll be dark on their backs and white on their tummies because when they're swimming, if there's a predator below them looking at the surface of the water looks white. And because tigers swim a lot, it could possibly be because they don't want any predators attacking them from beneath. So they blend in a little bit better if their tummies are white, like the surface of the water when you're looking up from underneath.
I don't know that she has arthritis. I know some of our senior animals just get a little stiff sometimes in the morning.
She
Is
does
that-
definitely get stiff, and she does spend most of her day resting because she is a tiger, and she is older. So whenever she does stand up, she's a little stiff.
She's being so adorable, I cannot end the video, so we're just going to hang out for a minute.
So she is a little stiff. She probably has a little bit of arthritis, but we monitor her very closely, her behavior, her appetite, and everything about her. And we're constantly talking to our vets to make sure we're giving her the best care possible.
I was trying to zoom in on that paw because a cute little gal asked how sharp their claws were and how big these paws are because they're pretty massive. It's hard to give you a perspective.
Their paws are probably about the size of your open hand, of an adult human's open hand. They're very big, maybe not hers, but Nikolai's for sure.
Nikolai's would be. Yes, they are the biggest they are the biggest cat species. And we have them here right up at Hogle Zoo. So, you guys, what an amazing Facebook field trip. Let's say thank you to Sleepyhead over here and Christy, Jay, sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Michelle and Kelsey. You guys, thank you so much for joining us. We're doing Facebook field trips every day at 11:30. Just check back at our Facebook page. We've had some awesome ones. If you've missed some, they live forever on Facebook. You can also catch them at our YouTube channel, Hogle Zoo. Don't forget to support your zoo during this time. This would normally be the kickoff to our busy season. We would be welcoming tens of thousands of field trippers up here. We do that free of admission because we want your kids to experience the beauty of wildlife. We have sent our education team out. They hit every second grade class in the state every year. We're doing so much to try to make sure that your kids appreciate the beauty and wonder of animals. So please support your zoo during this, as we say, during this difficult time. You could go to hoglezoo.org. There's lots of ways to donate, everything from buying things through Amazon Smile. You can just donate directly. You can buy works of art. Jamison Weston, our resident artistic director here, he has drawn these beauties, and you can buy those and own them at hoglezoo.org. Buy tickets now that you can use later in the year. You can buy, you can renew your membership, all of that good stuff at hoglezoo.org. All right, you guys, for your follow-up Tiger King questions, we will get more into that. Please know that there's a huge difference between your accredited zoos and anything that's happening in some of those private roadside places. So we will do a tiger demonstration, a training demonstration that will be next week. We'll make sure that we keep you guys posted. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow at 11:30. Bye, guys.